Hey guys, how's it going? High and Noble here. Welcome to the channel. This is my channel where I will exclusively be posting Yu-Gi-Oh content, and today I'm going to be sharing my deck profile for my Bird Up deck, which is a combination of Lyrilusc and Tri-Brigade. It was the most voted for in the Discord poll, and also there will be a link to my Discord below. If this is your first time to the channel, which I'm assuming it is, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. And I hope to be coming out with at least one deck profile a week and maybe some other unboxing videos or whatever else we can think of. But until then, let's get into this. So, when I actually first got this deck together, I didn't know that it was going to be the game-changing deck that it is. Like, it's actually a really good top-tier deck right now, this Bird Up deck. And I didn't expect that. To be honest, I used to play Raid Raptors a lot, and that was back in like 2017, and only a few of the Lyrilusc cards came out to the TCG, and I thought they were adorable, and I'm like, you know what, I would love to build a deck that's just Lyrilusc one day. And then I heard new support was coming, and I'm like, why not? I've been waiting for years, let's do this. And I finally put it together, and it's probably one of the best decks I have right now because it's just so powerful in what it can and can't do. Like, you can get so many combos off without even using a normal summon in a turn. This deck is insane. And then we got the extra deck over here, but we'll get into that later. So for now, for the monsters, start with the Lyrilusc engine. We've got 3 Lyrilusc Turquoise Warblers. So Turquoise Warbler, basically you can special summon it from your hand if you don't control any monsters, and then if it's special summoned from your hand, you can special summon one Lyrilusc monster from your hand as well. From your hand or graveyard, sorry. So that's your basic starter and extender. Like, you can get into some great plays off of this alone. And even if it is like negated, there are just so many other cards you could use. All right, and then next up we have Lyrilusc Cobalt Sparrow. Cobalt Sparrow is another great card. Basically, when it's special summoned, you can add one level 1 winged beast type monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use that effect once per turn. And if an Xyz monster is summoned using this card as material, it gains the effect that it cannot be targeted by card effects, which is pretty great. So you really want to open with Turquoise Warbler and Cobalt Sparrow, and then you can pretty much get full combo off of that by going in and searching whichever card you need. And it does say level 1 winged beast. You're not locked into just searching out Lyrilusc cards. Say if you open up nothing but Lyriluscs and you don't really need anything from that engine, you know, might search out your Nerval or even a DD Crow in some situations. Next up we have Lyrilusc Sapphire Swallow. So if you control a winged beast type monster, which is almost your whole deck, you can special summon both this card and one level 1 winged beast type monster from your hand. So you do need another level 1 in your hand. You can't summon this by itself. It has to summon something else with it. You can only use that effect once per turn. And a wind Xyz that was special summoned, or that was summoned using this card as material, if it's Xyz summoned, you can target one Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard and attach it to this card as material. So basically you want to try and go into your Ensemble Robin with this, and then use its effect to attach another material to it from the grave, and then you get an additional bounce. And if you just so happen to have a Celestine Wagtail, which is the next card we're going to talk about in the graveyard, that is another material you can attach, and that's 4 bounces on a single Robin. It's pretty great. So Celestine Wagtail, if this card is special summoned, you can search a Lyrilusc spell or trap from your hand. You're almost always going to be searching out Lyrilusc Bird Call. It is the best spell that this deck has in terms of like searching. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can attach it to a Lyrilusc Xyz monster that you control, and that's the effect I was talking about. It is really great. Now I only run 2 of those because I found that 3 was kind of cloggy. Like, if I draw into it or open with it, there's not much I can do unless I also have, say, a Swallow or a Turquoise or something else to go into. And then last of the Lyrilusc engine is Barrel Canary. So Barrel Canary can, if it's in your hand, you can target a Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard and special summon it with this card. So you get 2 basically, but then the problem, or not problem, the restriction on this is that once you've used this effect, you are locked into Xyz summons for the rest of the turn. So if you're going to be Link summoning or any other kind of summon, you want to get that done before you activate Barrel Canary's effect. And then a Wind Xyz monster that was summoned by this, or summoned with this card as material, gains 200 attack, and also it cannot switch control, which is great against, say, triple tactics or whatever it may be. All right, so that's it for the Lyrilusc cards. Now we're getting into the Tri-Brigade engine. So for Tri-Brigade, we run 3 copies of Nerval. If you don't know, all the Tri-Brigade monsters have a shared effect where you can link summon by banishing monsters from your graveyard as materials to link summon a monster. As long you have to activate that on the field, and then a lot of them also have an effect in the graveyard. So if Nerval is sent to the graveyard, I can add 1 Tri-Brigade monster from my deck to my hand. Fractal is actually a different effect. Instead of when he's sent to the graveyard, you discard him to the graveyard to add a level 3 or lower beast warrior, or winged beast deck monster from your deck to your hand, send it from your deck to the graveyard. And that's really great if you need to send a Nerval or a Kit or even a Celestine Wagtail. You can send basically anything in your deck. Next, we're running 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Kit. Scooch these over here. Kit is just, another effect. It's a beast. It's a level 2. You can target it with Fractal. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can send another Tri-Brigade monster to the graveyard. So let's say that you open Fractal, you can Fractal effect, discard it, send Kit, add Nerval, send Nerval. But I don't know why you would do it like that, but it's just an example. There's different things you could do. And then for the last card, we run 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Keras, where his effect is you discard another winged beast, or beast warrior that you control to special summon him from your hand. Both level 2, the Kit and Keras, so not the greatest for Xyz plays, but mostly you'll be using them for link summoning anyways. That's it for the Lyrilusc and Tri-Brigade cards. Next, we run 1 copy of Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. Basically just locks your opponent into special summoning only wind type monsters. So if they're, not running wind, then it's pretty hard to get around, but it's only 1,000 attack and defense, so it can be run over pretty easily, but then you also have some protection on it. Next, for hand traps, I run a single copy of DD Crow because it can easily be searched by a lot of cards in my deck that search level 1 winged beasts or level lower than whatever. And then we run 3 copies of Ash Blossom. It's Ash Blossom. I don't think I need to explain much. And that's it for the monsters. Then we get into the spells, and we have 3 Lyrilusc Bird Call. Now, like I was saying, this is probably the best spell in the deck. Basically, take 1 Lyrilusc monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Then you can special summon 1 Lyrilusc monster with a different name from your hand. You can only activate 1 Lyrilusc Bird Call per turn. This card has actually saved me in a lot of duels where I open first turn with no Lyrilusc cards, but I have a Bird Call, and from there I can just start. I can bring Turquoise to my hand. I can bring Turquoise to my hand. There's a lot of things that you can do with this card. Sorry, I was thinking if I don't have a single Lyrilusc in my hand and I bring Turquoise, it doesn't really get me that far because it's just a 1 card where I'd wouldn't be able to special anything from my hand. But yeah, it can come in handy a lot. It has a lot of great applications. Next, we run a lot of 1-of cards of spells. So we run 1 Fire Formation Tenki. When this card is activated, you can add 1 level 4 or lower beast warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And almost always that is going to be Fractal, because he's literally the only beast warrior you run. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster for back row, a copy of 1 for 1 because a lot of them are level 1, a single copy of Foolish Burial to dump any monster you might need to dump. Really works well with the Tri-Brigades, and also the Celestine if you need to get an extra material. And then we run 1 Called by the Grave, just so you can make sure you get those combos off, right? And then we run, for traps, 3 copies of Harpy's Feather Storm. Now this card is honestly insane. I can't believe it's at 3 right now, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think it's the greatest card in the world, but in this deck it is fantastic. If you control a winged beast type monster, which you almost always will, until the end of this turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. If you control a Harpy monster, you can activate this card from your hand. No Harpies, so can't really do that. If this card is in your owner, if this card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So even if I've already used my Feather Duster, I can get it back should they happen to pop one of these. But the fact that you can negate activated effects on your opponent's monsters for the whole turn is insane. Normally, I will try and set this if I'm lucky enough to like draw into it or have it in my hand and just immediately activate it on their standby phase if they have nothing, and that just sometimes ends their turn right there because they can't really do much. So great card to have. Then we run 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. So special summon a number of Beast Warrior, and or Wing Beast monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, but negate their effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, link summon 1 Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. You can only activate 1 per turn. So this is great card to use after you've gone into your combos and done your plays with your Tri-Brigade engine where you're banishing a lot of monsters. And even if you haven't banished, you can also use them from the graveyard to just link summon on your opponent's turn, and it's pretty clutch. And then I started running 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Oath. I found a couple of deck lists that were playing this, and I figured I would test it out myself and see how it goes. Basically, you just target 1 link monster you control, special summon 1 Beast, Wing Beast, or Beast Warrior with a different type from your hand or graveyard. And the great part about this card is, if you control at least 1 of each Beast Warrior, and Wing Beast monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, and negate its effects until the end of the turn. So normally you would want to send this card off of, say, I want to say Kit, actually. I'm pretty sure. Yes, 1 Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard. So yeah, you would send this off of the Kit, and then next turn you have protection for your monsters just in case they want to activate a lightning storm or whatever it may be, and or say a dark ruler no more. You have protection for this with this for your monster. So that is the main deck, and let's get into the extra deck and see what kind of plays you want to get into. All right, so for the extra deck, you are running a combination of Link and Xyz monsters because you are running a combination of Link and Xyz archetypes. So let's start with the Xyz monsters, and that would be the Lyrilusc cards. We are running 2 copies of Lyrilusc Recital Starling. She is a rank 1, 0 defense, 0 attack, Wing Beast, and Wind. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. It gains 300 attack and defense for each material attached to this card. So let's say this has 4, then it gains 1200. Pretty good, right? Normally don't want to use that effect the first time that you're bringing this out because 1, you're only going to be able to target itself if it's the only thing you have out, and 2, it's easy for your opponent to negate and destroy it when you want to kind of go for the other effect, or at least, you know, not get baited out. So once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, add 1 level 1 Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand. All battle damage you take from battles involving this Xyz summon card is also inflicted to your opponent. So, you know, if they want to try and swing into you, or like they stop your combo and this is all you have on the field, if they try to crash into it, at least they're taking damage as well. This card is great to search into almost literally any of your Lyrilusc monsters as well as Nerval. All right, next we have an assembled Nightingale. Now this card is really great when you want to go into Zeus. So again, 2 or more level 1 monsters. This card gains 200 attack for each material attached to it. This card can attack directly. Well, this card has Xyz material. It can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of Xyz material attached to it. So let's say that you happen to get this out with 4 materials, then it can attack 4 times, and it also has 2, 4, 6, 800 attack. And 800 times 4, that's a lot of damage, right? Right. But the main reason you want to get this out isn't for the damage. I mean, yeah, it's great, and sometimes it can help you just end a game real quick by like going past your opponent's board if they don't have a back row. But it's also really amazing to get into Zeus. And then we also have 1 copy of Lyrilusc Ensemble Robin. So Ensemble Robin is probably like the crux of the Lyrilusc engine here. What I mean is this is normally what you're going to be ending off on with the most materials on it as well, because this card gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. And if your opponent special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can detach 1 material from this card and target 1 of those special summon monsters and return it to the hand. This card in your possession is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card. You can target 1 other Lyrilusc monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So you can get up to I don't even want to give you a limit. You can get a lot of materials on this card if you try, and it basically just stops your opponent from doing anything because you're going to have negates on the field, you're going to have protection on the field, and then you're just going to keep bouncing them every single time they try to special summon, and it's going to be hilarious, and they're going to be mad, and I wouldn't blame them. I was mad when it happened to me as well. But this is a great card to have and run, and it just helps a lot getting around destruction and like targeting effects, because you're not destroying anything, you're just bouncing it right back to the hand. And does it target? Nope. Oh yeah, it does target. Okay, it does target, so it doesn't get around targeting effects, but I still think it's a great effect. That's actually it for Lyrilusc monsters in the extra deck. Next, we are running the Utopic Draco package, because Draco is just a great card right now. He can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, 3000 attack, 2000 defense, negate and take control of a monster. It's honestly just pretty clutch. And then we're running one copy of Divine Arsenal Zeus, like I was just talking about, can get into very easily with assembled Nightingale. And then that's actually it for our Xyz monsters. We have our links coming up next with Tri-Brigade, Berejit the Barren Blossom. This card, when it is link summoned, or sorry, during your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Beast Warrior or Wing Beast from your deck, Beast as well, sorry, from your hand, and you cannot use the monsters as link material for the rest of the turn, except Wing Beast, Beast Warrior, or Beasts, which your whole deck consists of. This card is sent to the graveyard. You can draw one card, then place one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. This is a great extender to go into with any Tri-Brigade effect, or even just to link off if you need to, and then get something out of your hand special, use a Tri-Brigade effect, and then keep going on with it. It's pretty great. And then even when it's destroyed or leaves the field, you get a +1 by getting to draw, even though you have to put one back. Not mandatory, so if you need the card, then you can, but you don't have to. Running one Bear Broom, the Rampant Rampager. Great card, honestly. He helps a lot to get Tri-Brigade Oath into the graveyard, just in case you weren't able to do that with Kit, or you needed to send something else with Kit. And then we run one copy of Rugal the Silver Sheller, and of course one copy of Shirag the Ominous Omen. It's a pretty basic Tri-Brigade engine. I actually don't see a lot of people running Rugal, and I understand why. I just kind of wanted a Link 3 to have as an option, because sometimes it's nice. And I like his effect. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. Tri-Brigade Shirag or Ominous Omen, he's great. You get to banish as soon as he's out on the field, and if anything else is special summon, you get to keep banishing. I don't know what else to say. He's amazing. Then we run, that's it actually for the Tri-Brigade cards. The rest are one Salamangreat Almirage, one Harpy Conductor, which really you're mainly going to want to use to go into your Samorg. It's just great to have a Wind Wing Beast, just in case you weren't able to get out any of your Lyrilusc monsters. And then we run one copy of Ancient Warrior's Oath, Double Dragon Lord. So Samorg, basically any Wing Beast that it points to can't be targeted by card effects. And at the end phase, you can special summon a monster or a Wing Beast, a Wing Beast whose level is lower than all the occupied spell and trap zones. So normally, or almost always, you're going to summon Barrier Statue of Mist Valley so that your opponent is locked into Wind. And then Double Dragon Lord is just a great interruption to have. Basically, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, target one face-up card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. So another bounce, just like our Ensemble Robin here, but different way to go about it. Well, that's the deck profile, guys. I tried not to make it too long, even though I explained a lot of the card effects. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of content or what decks you would like to see in the future from me. Thanks for watching, and take care.